Quiet Place Part One or Day One, excuse me.
Day
What?
one.
Yeah, let's. I want to hear. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this.
Um, yeah, well, we know the first two are incredible. Um, the director, the star of the first two are, a Hollywood power couple, and they make great films together, and separately. Um, I thought Lupita Nyong'o is fantastic in this movie. So this, of course, is day one of of A Quiet Place, and it's what happens when these creatures first arrive on the planet. And Lupita is this terminally ill person who has just basically given up and is just angry, and as you would be if your days were numbered. Um, I thought overall it's a nice movie. I thought it was total wasted opportunity. Like when you watch the first two, you always wondered about what this day one was going to look like. How did you figure out that you couldn't make a noise? Like, how did you, if you survived that, like, how would you have figured that out? And this movie starts and you get 10, 15 minutes in, and you're already invested in the characters because, Lupita's awesome. She's like an Academy Award winner. She's amazing. And she does a great job setting up this movie. She gets knocked out and then she wakes up and everyone around her is like, so how did you guys figure that out? Like it just completely just went on without having to have any, it's the most
That's a really
important
good.
thing.
That's a really good point because that was,
It's
you
the most
know,
important aspect of this movie is the quiet.
yeah. No,
It's in the title of all three.
yeah, you're totally right. Like it totally just skipped over, and that was my thing too. Like you're able to um what's the word?
Articulate it.
Yeah, you were able to articulate way better than I was because I just saw it last night, so I'm still like collecting my feelings on it, but that was definitely my biggest takeaway from it. Like wait a second, like you really did just kind of skim over it, and how did you figure it out? Like what?
It wasn't
Yeah,
even a skim. It was a blatant skip. It was like, well, she got knocked out. She's been out for a day
yeah,
or
but
an hour.
you don't see that trial and error of like Independence Day, right? Independence Day worked the whole way through, and they finally, and then they realized, oh, you know what? They're actually just like us, and it was a process. And then this one, yeah, it just jumped to it. It's like, oh, we already know what not to do, and it's like, well, there was zero, like, because remember the beginning was like all noise and all that stuff. So obviously, like you wouldn't have figured that out. And then they jump to right away, and it's Dejam Dejam
Jimon
Jimon, yeah,
of Paws of Fury fame.
yeah. Jimon all of a sudden is like,
He
be
just
quiet.
pops up everywhere. He just like shows
Yeah,
up in movies. He's not even credited half the time. He just kind of shows up.
yeah, and again, it totally jumped to it, but
But Joseph Quinn is also in this. He played, I don't really know him as an actor, but I thought that he gave a really great performance.
who was
Lupita,
he?
like I said, he was the guy that kind of follows Lupita
Oh yeah,
forever, and then ultimately is the one that I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. There are some really heartfelt moments in this movie. Really emotional acting at times in this movie. And great little sequences. It's definitely worth a watch. And I think if I see it again, I'll probably enjoy it more. I was just like so mad that I mean that's what I was waiting for it. Like I was
yeah,
waiting to kind of find out what happened. I mean, that's what prequels are for. They explain things that weren't obvious or explained in the previous versions. And they blew it. I thought
yeah,
this would have been a 10, I think, if they would have done something like that.
yeah.
But then the goal, the journey, other than surviving, was to get a piece of pizza. Like that was their journey. Like that was the goal.
Her journey.
Yeah. Like I didn't care. I didn't care about the
Well,
pizza. I wanted them to escape. I wanted them to survive, and I wanted to know how.
no, you kind of already said it though. The whole pizza thing was the fact that, like you're saying, like her days are numbered, and it's like, dude, this is all I want. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
I
get it.
and that's why I thought the ending worked overall. I'm not gonna spoiler it on that one, but
The ending was fine.
I thought it all worked. I agree. That's pretty much the really thing that limited it. But besides that, I do think it was a great journey. There's definitely a lot of moments, and I love
It's
the
a good,
music.
solid movie.
Yeah, the
It's a good,
music I
solid
thought was
movie. It's just
really
that I would have done it differently.
no, no, no. I think you nailed it because that was the one thing, and I kind of didn't harp on it because I didn't want to take away from the rest of the movie, and so I kind of just skimmed over it. But you articulated it perfectly, and that's what was missing from this film. But I agree with you. Definitely check it out. It is really still. Besides that, I thought it's really well made and definitely worth the watch. It did
And
already.
Lupita's gold. She's always
Yeah,
gold.
it was number one in the box office. It made 52.2 million, and it's the budget is 67 million. So it's already grossed 97 worldwide. So this is going to be a profitable film. Good job. I don't know if we're gonna need another one, but
They'll
maybe
probably do it, and maybe they'll
it would
maybe
be
they'll
the final
explain
one, I
some
would
more
assume.
stuff.
Well, maybe that like the third one to me would be like the final one, like where if we were to defeat them, that's what it would be. But besides that, I don't know if I need another story in this
Need a
saga.
Bill Pullman speech before going after the aliens.
Yeah, exactly.
That would help.
All right. So ultimately, we both say check it out. Next, and I'm going to start with this one, Pete. I just literally saw this again, but